Welcome to Sleep, Dearie, Sleep. This workshop is for Sleep, Dearie, Sleep. There's just 6 lessons. You can access all of them in the link below. And here in lesson 1, we're going through the first 2 bars of the sheet music. Also find that in the link below. So here we are. I'll go through non-embellishments, then embellishments, but I'll just play it once more so you can get it in your head a little bit. So first, without embellishments, we're just doing the notes and then we'll add in those embellishments. So our first note transition is going to be from the E down to the B. E to B. That E is our introductory note, so you won't see that E on the sheet music. But if you want to draw it in, you're most certainly welcome to. But I suggest printing it off your computer first. Don't be drawing on the screen of your computer or phone. Okay, so we're on the E. Pinky finger on the bottom hand is up. Ring finger on the top hand is up. So from E down to B, to make sure you don't get a crossing noise, make sure that B finger, the ring finger of the bottom hand, lifts up before the ring finger of the top hand comes down. That way you won't get a crossing noise. And then we're going right back up to the E. So we're on the E, we go down to B, and then we do the reverse. We drop the ring finger of the bottom hand, lift up the ring finger of the top hand, we're back on the E. Now the B is quite a long note, the E is quite a short note, and then we have another E. And we have to interrupt it with something. I will teach the doubling in a moment, but the simplest way to interrupt those 2 E's is a G grace note. Top finger of the top hand goes up and down to separate those 2 E's. So top finger just goes up and down. So let me play what we got so far. We've got an E down to B, then we have an E, G grace note, E. So let me play that for you. One more time, then we'll move on. After we do that G grace note on the E, now we're going to drop down the scale to the D, which is going to be a short note, and that's a busy transition, so let's talk through that transition. So that transition, our ring finger of our top hand comes down, pinky finger of the bottom hand is coming down, all the other fingers of the bottom hand are lifting. And we're going to keep walking our way down the scale by dropping the top finger of the bottom hand to C. From C, we again walk down the scale to B this time. So our ring finger, or our middle finger of the bottom hand drops down and our pinky finger lifts up, C to B. So let's play that rundown where we go from our second E, down to D, down to C, down to B. Let me play that for you again. And have a listen to the rhythm. We have long and short, long, long and short, long, E, D, C, B. And again, we'll add embellishments in a moment, but we just got 2 notes left before we talk about embellishments. But let's play what we have so far right up to that B we just ended off on. And you hear those last 2 notes. We have B, low G, and then up to low A. So the B is long. We drop down both fingers to a short low G, and then we lift up just the pinky finger for a long, low A. And that low A is the last note of bar 2. Now, if you don't know what a bar is, it's just the music between two vertical lines. So if you look at the sheet music in the link below, you'll see a vertical line, some notes, a bunch of notes, another vertical line. That's a bar of music. And in this tune, there's 4 bars of music in each line. So let me play the first 2 bars, all the lesson 1 chunk, without embellishments, and then we'll get those embellishments sorted out in just a moment. Let me play it for you with embellishments, and then we'll tackle those. So I'm going to break down all those embellishments, including the grip, and don't feel like it's all or nothing. If you just want to add in some of them and avoid that grip, as it's a bit of a tricky one, that's always an option too. But I'm going to break them all down for you. So assuming we know the notes, let's just talk about embellishments. When we go from E to B, that first note of the music, we're going to do a G grace note to get to that B. So make sure that top finger is the first finger on the move. It's going to lift. You get to B with the bottom hand and dropping the ring finger of the top hand, and then the top finger comes down, and that's a G grace note down to B from the E. From there, we're doing our grip up to E. Here's how that grip sounds. So let's talk through that grip. The first half of the grip, we drop down to low G, and then we do a D grace note, top finger of the bottom hand. The second half of the grip, we pop up to E by lifting up the ring finger of the top hand and the pinky of the bottom hand. That's the second half of the grip. So if we put both halves together, nice and slow, but also even. And once you have all those pieces in place, see if you can slowly pick up the speed. And if this is brand new, it might take a series of days or weeks. If you've done grips before but haven't sorted them out in a while, it might just be a matter of a few minutes to get those grips sounding nice and crisp. Once we're on that E, we're going to do a doubling. So that doubling, 2 grace notes. First grace note is the top finger, and then the second grace note is the middle finger. Before that middle finger moves, make sure the top finger has completed its up and down movement. And we're just going to do that once. So let's play what we have so far, right up to that E doubling. After that E doubling, we're going to go down to the D with a G grace note. So our top finger is the first one to lift. We do our busy transition down to D, and then the top finger comes down. No embellishment or doubling onto the C, but when we go from C to B, we're going to do a doubling there. So D down to C with nothing, from C to B. Our doubling there, we first do a G grace note down to the B. So our G grace note finger, top finger is going to lift. We go down to B, top finger comes down. That's the first half of the doubling. Second half of the doubling, top finger of the bottom hand goes up and down. That's our D grace note finger. Here's the second half. we're already on the B for the second half, and we just do the G grace note. That's the second half. So if we put the two together, so let me play what we've got so far. And you hear those last two notes, grace notes on both of the last two notes. So B down to G, we're going to do an E grace note. So our ring finger of the top hand lifts, drop down to that low G, then the ring finger comes back down. And then from low G up to the low A, we're doing a G grace note, top finger of the top hand. So let me play the full first two bars, and again, check out the link below for all the lessons, all 6 lessons, and the sheet music's there as well, and lots of other workshops to choose from too. So if you found this a little bit too advanced with, the embellishments or finger placement, check out the beginner workshop. In the link below, you can navigate and find all those workshops. So here's the first 2 bars of Sleep Dearie Sleep, and can't wait to see it in lesson 2.